And welcome. Our top story at this hour, U.S. President Joe Biden and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will meet to discuss the waning relationship on the sidelines of the G20 summit. At a time when tensions are escalating between NATO allies, U.S. and Turkey, the meeting is expected to discuss a wide range of issues. Turkey's removal from the U.S.-led F-35 stealth fighter jet program, which will be in focus. Earlier, U.S. had sanctioned Turkey for buying the S-400 missile defense system from Russia. The U.S. administration stopped the sale of 100 F-35 jets to Turkey over Turkey's action. These jets are considered to be the most advanced U.S. airplane. The meeting will also include talks on regional issues such as Syria and Libya. U.S. President Joe Biden will warn the Turkish president on what U.S. calls an impulsive action. As per U.S. officials, Erdogan removed protection for 10 envoys, including the U.S. envoy to Turkey, later withdrawing the threat to expel them. A U.S. official said the meeting might not have happened if the threats had been implemented. The ambassadors wanted the release of jailed philanthropist Osman Kavala. Most of Europe and NATO is disappointed with Erdogan's foreign policy for having close defense ties with Russia. The alleged incursion of Turkey into the Greek and Cyprus waters also angered NATO allies. Erdogan's administration has allegedly been hostile towards Mediterranean countries such as Greece and Cyprus. Turkey has deployed troops on the Syrian border to launch attacks against the US-backed Kurdish forces. The move has irked the international community. Turkey also withdrew the troops from Libya, a long-standing request of Russia. Meanwhile, Moscow is strengthening its relationship with Libya's neighbor, Egypt. Turkey's human rights record might also trouble Erdogan ahead of the talks with the United States. White House Bureau Chief Patsy Widakuswara is joining us live from Rome for more on this story. Widakuswara is part of the presidential reporters pool. She accompanied U.S. President Joe Biden from Washington, D.C. and will accompany him for Glasgow Climate Summit as well. Patsy, thank you very much for joining us. So many expectations after these two summits, at least from Joe Biden. Is the White House aware of this pressure, and what is the significance of Biden meeting the Turkish president? What is America trying to achieve?
Well, it's certainly a very important summit for President Joe Biden. This is, his first big in-person meeting with the G20 leaders, and this is also an opportunity because Russian President Vladimir Putin, as well as Chinese President Xi Jinping, is not attending in person. As you mentioned, happening right now is the bilateral between President Joe Biden and Turkish President Erdogan. He just mentioned a few minutes ago in front of my colleagues, the reporters, whether the sale of F-16s, as you mentioned, will be discussed. President Joe Biden said that this will be part of the discussion. But essentially, there are a lot of issues to manage between Turkey and Washington. Obviously, President Joe Biden is somebody who ran on a campaign of putting democracy and human rights back as pillars of United States foreign policy. He has in the past called President Erdogan an autocrat. So these issues are going to be irritants going forward in the relationship, but both presidents have a real interest in keeping the relationship at least manageable, because President Joe Biden certainly does not want another flashpoint in the region following the messy withdrawal of Afghanistan. And Turkish President Erdogan, who is embattled politically at home and is also troubled economically, needs to show the world as well as his citizens that he and the U.S. can have a working relationship despite the fact that the two do not agree on many issues. As you would recall, recently Turkey threatened to expel the U.S. ambassadors as well as 9 other ambassadors for supporting a jailed Turkish philanthropist. So a lot of issues to be discussed by the leaders, and as you mentioned earlier, the senior administration official who briefed us last night said that this is no way to conduct business. Essentially, there's no need to bring the relationship up to a precipice, and both the U.S. and Turkey will have to deal with managing the relationship so that no future flare-ups come up.